Welcome, everybody, into Comic Book Women. You can tell we're missing Lucy, but it's okay. We got this. Jen, Sarah, and I have quite the show planned. Tonight, we are going to be covering artist Ryan Brown. Not that Ryan Brown. No, not that Ryan Brown. Not the other Ryan Brown, but this Ryan Brown. That'll make more sense after the show's over. Searching Ryan Brown is like borderline impossible. You got to really know what you're looking for.
If you're looking for 8 billion genies, Ryan Brown, he has an E.
But there's writer Ryan Brown.
And there's another artist by the name of Ryan Brown.
It's a little tricky. I think if I had a name like Ryan Brown, I would put like a initial in it, just be like Ryan G. Brown or Ryan L. Brown to kind of help. Before we get started, though, shout out to our sponsors over at Cover Price. All the data that Jen has so beautifully collected comes directly from their platform. If you haven't already, please sub their everything. Sub everything. Bird City Comics, shout out to them. We launched our Vampirella versus the Superpowers tonight, done by Rising Star. I swear to God, guys, she is fantastic. Anna Marcano. Beautiful work. That launched tonight as well. And tomorrow, we will be revealing a Trish Forstner book that might be my all-time favorite of Trish's, which is saying something because we've worked with her for a while. But this one's going to be hard to beat.
Hint?
Ooh.
Huh?
Hint?
It's for Dark Ride. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
The title is Dark Ride. And that's all I'm going to say. But it's so good. All right, girls, you guys just want to dive on in?
Let's do it.
Let's just dive in. Let's just dive right in. Okay. All right, so Ryan Brown, as I was saying earlier, it's difficult to search. I ended up accidentally watching like a 20-minute video about Ryan Brown before I realized it was the wrong one. He looked like Val Kilmer, and I was like, damn, this Ryan Brown guy is like super attractive, but it was the wrong one.
But this Ryan Brown is from Belfast, Ireland, and has an amazing accent.
Yeah, no, mine didn't have an accent. He was just beautiful, and I was like, watching him, he was talking about some book he was doing.
Is he the one from Ohio?
Yeah.
Maybe. He looks like Val Kilmer. That's what it reminds me of.
Did he work with like turtles early on?
Yes, and he did a book called like Dead Bodies or Dead something.
Yeah, it's
I wasn't listening to words coming out of his mouth. I was like,
was very difficult. And then there's the Brown with an E, but sometimes they forget the E, and then you're going through and well, that's not the style that I'm. Oh.
Yeah.
So.
Ryan Brown with an E, I think, is very different. So it's easy to kind of see the difference between these two styles. We're talking like really, this is more like realism. But let's go down the line. Jen, what was your first exposure to Ryan Brown?
I remember seeing him on some Turtles books, which we couldn't show all 4. Darn.
But we'll get to that. Yeah. I remember him from Deceased. That's where I kind of like first. But again, Sarah, what about you?
I think it has to be the Ewoks cover.
That's when you first heard about him?
I have, yeah.
Last week. Okay.
But see, that's what I love about this show is because, I learned something new. I learned a new artist. So, and yeah, like after doing some research, I really dig his covers. They're very unique and very cool. So.
Yeah, Anthony and I used to work, like, before we started doing our own exclusives, we worked under Comics Elite. We used to work with them. Mm-hmm. And so we would buy some of their stuff. And they worked with Ryan Brown for a while. And I remember we got one in. It was a Harley cover. And I remember holding it. And I was like, damn, this is really good. But it did not sell. For the life of me, it did not sell. And I didn't understand why. I think that there wasn't enough exposure for what he does. And now that his name is finally getting some like really big attention off that Ewok cover, people like you, Sarah, who've never heard of him before, are going to go back and try to find some of the covers they don't know about. And I agree. That makes this show very unique. Shout out to JB. He did a fantastic job of hosting Lords of the Long Box tonight since TiVo's on vacation. Thank you for being here. Okay, let's kick it off. Artist Insights. If you guys are new to us, we like to provide a little background information in case you are not familiar with the artist or creator or writer that we are covering. In tonight's case, it's Ryan Brown, no E. The credits, he's a cover artist and a digital painter, concept artist and acrylic painter, which, mad respect, acrylic's difficult. He uses typically digital and some traditional. Sarah, traits?
Yeah, his key traits, he focuses on horror and dramatic scenes. And what's interesting about that is when I was doing my research, that is his like favorite thing is in comics is horror. He likes a particular one called Scream. It was only in the UK. And he said it was creepy and eerie. And then also that he likes, I found this interesting, relatable horror. So yeah, so I can see where he's focusing on horror and dramatic scenes, purposefully excluded, cut off details, interesting poses and perspectives, attention to varying textures and light, and striking skin and eyes in characters. I got all excited. That's I was
His
like,
eyes,
yeah.
Isn't that always it with Ryan Brown? Like if you can see the eyes and they're like looking into your soul, that's Ryan Brown, right?
Creepy.
Yeah, creepy. They look like they have like the you guys know when the contacts that became popular when people would like black out their pupils and stuff? That's what it reminds me of. I bet he probably uses like internet pictures for references for that. Ryan, if you're watching, let me know. Jen, do you want to talk about the colors that we can kind of help identify his work?
I mean, he uses it varies. it greatly varies, but you can kind of see how they're kind of toned, like not mega
Like
bright, but
muted.
like toned, huh?
Yeah.
Muted.
Yes, muted. That's the word. Yes. But
Yeah. So we're not talking pastels. We're talking like actual vibrant colors, but he puts over like this overlay that makes them muted and somehow that makes it creepier. I don't know. It's something about everything having this very creepy, like Sarah was saying, horror lens over it. So all right, let's dive right in. Well, before we get started, Jen, typically we start the show with a first of the artist, but there's a little caveat to tonight's.
yeah, because technically he got started. There's like maybe one day we'll have him on because I really like listening to him tell how I got into this. But Simon Beasley and Glenn Fabre are both they're UK guys, and he did colors and inks and lettering. I think was one of the credits I saw on it, but it was the Tower Chronicles. The Tower Chronicles. There's 3 offshoots of it. There's a 2012, 2014, 2015 Tower Chronicles. I think he said he did like 2,000 pages. In the beginning, it took him a little bit to color, but by the end, I think he said they're averaging like 22 pages in 2 days. So that's where he kind of got put into this gauntlet and just got faster and better.
22 pages in 2 days. That's incredible.
So we did you, because some people might try to seek out coloring and inking but what do you
It depends on what you're collecting for. If you're just trying to be a completionist and you want everything, then yes. But for the purposes of the show, we thought it would be better to kick it off with the first cover. Just to kind of keep it from not being 15 hours long. So let's dive right in. Jen, what do we have here?
So this is V Wars from 2014 from IDW. This is his first cover, I think. 95% sure. I could be wrong.
Look at the eyes, Sarah.
Right? And it's really, this is a really cool plot. This comes from writer Jonathan Jonathan Mayberry. It's a battle between humans and vampires, which I thought was really interesting. I like vampires too. So, I mean, it sounded like a really cool premise. And yeah, the cover art is, the splash of blood and then his eyes just he's looking right at me.
It's interesting that again, the more we do this show and the more I kind of look into the background to how these artists developed and evolved to where they are today, there are very distinctive signatures that show up so early in the game that unless you watch this show, you wouldn't know. Like his eyes are always, I wonder if we ever get him on, I want to know if he thinks about the eye composition first and then builds the character around that.
Because even like the lighting, even in the detail in the hand and the lighting hitting the face,
It's impressive. It's very impressive. Cool cover. I don't love vampires. They freak me out unless we're talking like
Yeah.
Edward Cullen.
This got made into a Netflix thing in 2019.
So this is already optioned?
Oh, it already got made, I thought.
That's odd that this is going for so little then. $49 for a 9.8. That has an asterisk, meaning, guys, if you're not familiar with cover price, the data is more than 6 months old, but that's barely the cost of grading.
I mean, if it came out in 2019,
Was it a movie or was it like a series?
all I know is it's on Netflix. I never actually watched it, but I kept meaning to.
There you go.
We got to go watch V Wars after
Right.
this, guys. That is our homework. All right, we're talking $20 for a raw, a 9 to a 9.4 for $10. Seems like a steal if you're a fan of Ryan Brown, and this is one of his earliest, if not the earliest, cover, and a 9.8 for $49. Moving on. Ooh, go ahead.
So, in a lot of his interviews, he will interchange V Wars and 2000 AD. So, this is 2000 AD from May 6, 2015. It's issue 1929. And it's interesting that it's 2080 because, or 2080, Tula Lote, who we've covered before on this.
Yes.
So it's interesting that a lot of, maybe not a lot, the two artists that we've covered so far who are foreign tend to get drawn into Judge Dredd.
This is a magazine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I've heard this like magazine mentioned like even before I got into comics. There's a particular show on the BBC called Spaced. If you're familiar with Simon Pegg, he actually plays a comic artist by the name of Ted Beasley, which is based on it's Simon, right? I always forget his name.
Yeah, Simon.
Yeah, Simon Beasley. But this is one of his favorite magazines is 2000 AD, and Judge Dredd in particular is one of the stories that have come out of this comic magazine.
This is insanely cool. What? Go ahead.
On the right-hand side, if you go to his Instagram or his website, that's an image that he did that never got turned into a cover. But oh my God, should it be a cover?
Right?
Right, the right-hand side, that
Yeah.
oh.
Ryan Brown, if you're watching, hit up Bird City Comics and we will make that into a cover because that is phenomenal. Jen, you were talking prior to the show about the metal. What about it specifically?
So when you look at the helmet and even like the different textures of the different metal, right? Like the badge being like a copper, and then if you look at like the red and the helmet, just it's so interesting that he took the time to take the detail. Like this looks like could be a photograph almost of the light hits it, but he changes it from like that red hue onto the black, and then on the glass it's different. It's impressive.
The visor is so cool because you can still see the detailing slightly behind the visor, and that's so difficult to do. I wish Trish was in the chat because she's always said that rendering metal and glass are so difficult. Like it's so hard. He kind of reminds me like a creepier version of Alex Ross, maybe mixed with a little bit of Art Germ, mixed with something else.
They were saying in one of the interviews, Frank Frazetta.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit. Sarah, what do you think? Would you pay $3 for this?
Yeah, absolutely. I was looking at the detail of the chin, and like just like it could have just looked like a regular like chin with some stubble, but like the lines and the dimple, and I think there's even kind of like a little scar. I mean, it's detailed and it just looks super cool. I really like it.
I bet most people don't even know that this is like early Ryan Brown work. So again, guys, if you are just joining us, we are covering artist Ryan Brown, not the genie one, the one with no E. The one on the left, we believe, is one of his earlier works. The one on the right was never published, unfortunately, but it is on his website. Hopefully we can change that. $3 for a raw and a fine condition. But that's just because it's a magazine. Magazines are a pain in the ass to get in high condition.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. Ooh, creepy.
Well said.
What's that?
So this is creepy. On the left, it's issue 23. On the right, it's 24. This is from 2016. So again, early Ryan Brown. And it's from Dark Horse. Dark Horse got the creepy license around that time. But I really want to get these, and it's doable, but in person because of the amount of detail. And these images do not do it justice. It's really hard to see on the right-hand side. But I didn't see it until Britt found a high-res image of it. So, okay, do you see on the right-hand side? See the doorway?
Yeah.
If you zoomed in on the doorway, you can kind of almost see it in that corner. It's two eyes. There's someone in that doorway.
I don't see anybody in the doorway, Jen.
Can you make it big on yours? Like,
oh, maybe. Hold on.
Make it full screen.
Nope,
no,
that's me.
What?
Hold on. Nope, wrong.
Creepy.
There we go.
Okay. And then if you guys can focus in on the doorway.
Okay.
Top left side where it's dark, you see two eyes.
I see it.
And then he has like really long fingers and he's a creepy dude in the back.
I see it.
You see it?
Bullshit. You don't see it because I don't see it. Where?
I see it. Look.
Oh,
Look
wait. We're talking about the one on the right. I was looking on the left.
Yeah, the one on the right.
Oh, yeah. I see it. Yeah. Sorry about the bullshit statement, Sarah. I see it.
It's okay.
My bad.
You're
Yeah.
like, you're wrong.
Yeah. Then I saw it. I was looking at this one and I was like, there's nothing there. You guys are crazy. But then the other one's like, oh, yeah, I totally see it. Okay.
It's like more up to isn't like the top of the door?
Yeah. His head, he's like this.
He's like, yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine being those people watching that and then you just turn around and there's some dude?
He's like the puppet master, right? He's like manipulating the child.
I don't think that's a dude. I think that's probably a demon.
A specter?
Well, it's obvious. I think that's like an exorcism. That's what I got out of it. Demon?
Yeah, this is definitely an exorcism.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sarah. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say this must have been like right up his wheelhouse, especially talking about the whole like horror, that he loves horror. Yeah, I'm not big, like, I don't like, I saw The Exorcist when I was like in college. Did not like that movie. But this cover, I mean, like, it says creepy. This cover is creepy, and it's just like the detail in it of it, like the strain on the limbs being stretched, and like the shadow of the upside down cross, and now seeing the eyes in the doorway, like, wow. That's crazy. And I can see this as a movie poster.
It looks like a movie poster. Yes, that's what I was actually going to say. The same thing. Yeah.
And then I feel like if you ever got these for a good price, getting him to sign it in like a blood red paint pen, the one on the right, and then on the left, I feel like we have to go with the silver just because of like that eerie,
like the moonlight.
Yeah.
These are both badass. I don't even know what to say. Dark Horse in general, I highly recommend if you find one that's in good condition, pick it up, because Dark Horse stuff just seems to hold value-wise. And the one on the left is awesome. Yeah, the one on the left is really, really well done. Beautiful lighting. Guys, if you are just joining, we are talking about Ryan Brown. Huh?
She's not. When you look closer at her arm.
Is she dead?
Yeah, it's a skeleton.
I'm assuming,
At first, it looks like she's walking away from you. She's actually walking towards us, and you can kind of tell, like, under her veil.
See, like the way I thought was like she's walking away, like she's walking into the tomb. But I was like,
no, she's coming out of the tomb. Yeah. Creepy. Anthony and I, one of our very first dates, we went to see The Exorcist when it got redone. So, I don't know, like in 2000 or something like that. And I told you guys, I am chicken shit. So we actually had to leave. And it's like, are you okay? And I'm like, He's like, let's go. And I'm like, all right. So we ended up leaving, and he wasn't even mad. Like, he was like fine with it. But I couldn't sit through that whole movie. It just, my mom said the demons will follow you home.
Wait, that's not, if you see a movie?
Yes. If you put that
Okay,
in your head, it'll follow you home, Jen.
no. I feel like if you go to a
Never.
cemetery and you pick up something that belonged to something else, maybe. But a movie, it's a movie.
I was so scared. No, can't do it.
That's a
But
creepy
really well
movie.
done. Huh?
So creepy.
Yeah. What's the scariest movie you've ever seen, Jen?
I see a lot of scary movies that Britt says I almost broke her hand, but I won't leave.
What's the scariest?
Oh, with Britt, I didn't react well to the it. But what was really funny, wait, we're gonna watch Frozen 2, but before Frozen 2, they did a It Part 2 trailer, which was
That's a weird segue. It's like it and Frozen.
Yeah. And the scene where that old lady goes backwards and then like runs through the house, whatever, you just hear this little kid go, "Grandma?" And then they leave because the little kid like got scared.
Wait, was this before? Did you just say this was before a kids movie?
Yeah, it's before Frozen 2.
That can't be right.
That's not
Right was there. You will never forget the
can't
little
be
kid just getting scared and going, "Grandma?"
Absolutely. I'd be like grandma too.
Yeah. Do not watch Ernest Does Halloween. Terrifying.
That one?
Terrifying movie. Next up, Jen, what do we have here?
Mars Attacks.
Okay.
Number 1. This is the subscription variant from 2016. And then on the right-hand side, it's just regular cover A of Gears of War: Rise of Ra from 2018.
These are just cool. These are just neat. I think that's why we included them, just because they're fun. What do you think, Sarah?
I love Mars Attacks just because my dad actually has some of the cards from 1962. Like in really good condition. Yeah, he does. So I've seen like the card, like this looks like it came like right off the Topps trading card. So I really like that. I just think I think all those cards, if you've ever seen them, they're really cool. Ryan definitely did justice on this one. And Gears of War, of course. Never played the game, but I heard it's a lot of. My husband and my brother-in-law. They like played the crap out of this game and many other games of Gears of War.
Sarah, I want to see what you played Gears of War, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of that cover by Ryan Brown?
Nice, dope.
Yeah? What's Gears of War about?
I don't know. It's kind of post-apocalyptic monsters, but they got like some gory ass guns, like the chainsaws built into it, so you can run up to them like cut them in half. It was dope.
Lovely. Thank you.
Yeah. No wonder. Like, yeah.
The puns in here.
Aww.
Penny, you can't. Okay, she can sit with me. Just give her to me. Continue, Sarah. Sorry.
Penny snort.
Penny snorts and snores and makes the weirdest noises throughout the day. Sometimes I'll go over, I'm like, "Are you good?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm just breathing." I'm like, "All right, just breathing." It doesn't sound like breathing. That sounds like dying. But if you're okay, then I'll leave it alone.
You're like, she needs a CPAP.
Right? She'll be like, I'm like, "What the hell is that?"
But yeah, Gears of War, Xbox game. Yeah. I really like them. I think out of the two, the Mars Attacks are my favorite.
Yes. Mars Attack is badass. I think this looks so it reminds me of like, those golden age comics that you would find that have to do with UFOs and stuff. And I just think they're so neat.
Do you remember what they sounded like in the movie?
No.
Like
Like what, Jen?
I don't want to do it again because
I'm sorry. What was that?
Do I remember it wrong? I was like,
like
I'm just trying to get you to do it.
I actually made at one point. This was a couple months ago. I was talking about Mars Attacks, and Brett's like, "Oh, I've never seen it." I'm like, "You've never seen Mars Attacks?" So we watched it. It was great. Pierce Brosnan on a Pierce Brosnan got decapitated, and then the lady got turned into the Chihuahua dog.
Yeah, it's been a while. Pierce Brosnan. It was Pierce Brosnan.
He was Remington Steele. He was a Bond. He was Dr. Fate in the Black Adam movie.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Guys, if you're just joining, we're talking all about Ryan Brown. On the left, we have Mars Attack #1 from IDW. This is going for $2, which is a steal, if you ask me, especially if you're a fan of either the title or the artist. Like for $2, ugh. Gears of War is on the right. I'm not super familiar with that, but apparently it's chainsawing and stuff like that. $20 for that one. Anything to add, girls?
Buy him.
Buy him. Next. Ooh, okay. This one has some interesting backstory to it. Jen, go ahead.
Okay, so this actually is the issue after Pishumoko's heavy metal debut.
Like right after?
Yeah, because hers is 288, and then his
How
is
insane is that? That these
Right.
heavy metal books have so many of these huge players in them that people. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
so this is 289, and this is cover C. So it's not the main cover, but it's one of the variants that are out there. So this is again heavy metal 289 from 2018, and shortly after this, heavy metal was doing this big sale of like original art to raise money for something. It was like their 40th anniversary or something. The details are fuzzy, but they asked him for the image to sell, and it's digital, but he didn't want to say that, so he then got acrylics and
Improvised.
made
He
it.
improvised. It's like, oh shit, my boss wants me to do something that I didn't actually do. It's like, yeah, I'll get it
Well,
to
he
you.
did it. He did it. He just
No.
didn't do physical OA at the time.
Yeah.
He made the OA. He said it took, one of the interviews said it took 6 times to do the face just right.
Pause real quick. Audie, thank you so much for heavy metal faves and comics. We appreciate the super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It all
we go
goes back
ack,
to the channel. Huh?
Should
What?
we do annoy? No, like I was gonna say like ack, but that doesn't make any sense because now
No,
we're
on the
acting
count of 3, do ack. 1, 2, 3.
ack. Hey!
She fell for it. Yay, Sarah read my mind. It's like, make Jen do it by herself. All right. Love you, Jen. Okay, continue, Jen. Where were you at?
So
Some
on the right hand
face.
side, it's just him with the acrylics, and you could see he recreated it, and then heavy metal got to sell it, and
I think that's so cool. I think that's really neat. I wonder what the OA sold for.
Has to be a lot. Because, I mean, look at all that work, that detail. Just to recreate it is amazing.
I kind of appreciate that, though. Don't bite my head off, chat. Digital artists are phenomenal. They have a place in the community. But this is like something else to me when you have somebody that sits there with a paintbrush and manipulates the medium. And when you make a mistake, it's not like an undo. You have to literally redo it.
well, he said that a lot of digital technique translates very well to actual. Like if you could paint, you can technically like it's there's a good
Same hand movement, same technique, but digital has a place in this community. It just does. It's more convenient, it's faster, and like I said, you can do layers, so you can change things easier. I remember when I was working with Carla Cohen, and like we wanted a small adjustment. She's an oil painter, so making a small adjustment isn't a matter of just going bleep, taking that layer off. Like you have to redo it. I don't know. What do you think, Sarah?
Yeah, I really like this. This cover is very unique too, and I believe this comes from a story from a Rolling Stone interview that was done with David Bowie back in 1973. And that what I heard was like tech meets mankind, and they've merged together. So it's definitely kind of, I can see it.
well he said in one of the interviews he said that people keep like have a lady in particular, I can't remember, asked him like, hey, when you paint something, do you have a story in mind? He's like, yeah. Okay, you should do it. And other people have asked for this story, and he always planned on doing it, but then just life. So there's an actual story behind this. We just
Hasn't gotten to it yet. But eventually, what amazing potential for this book in particular if one day he ends up developing it more. Quick shout out to Ronnie, 1999 super chat. Love this show and this channel. Thank you. That means a lot. We appreciate it. Even though we've never been nominated for anything ever in regards to YouTube shows. Ever.
Well, I mean, it's okay.
No, it's not. Like, I want to get nominated. Like, I look at these things, I'm like, nobody says Nearing Nirvana. So that is your guys' homework. If you see somebody nominating a channel, a YouTube channel, nominate us. I swear we will be so grateful. But thank you, Ronnie. We would really appreciate it.
Speech? Do we have to like, you know, like when somebody wins an Oscar, they do a speech. If we win an award, do we have to do a speech?
Yeah, and Jen's gonna do it for us.
In her alien voice.
Yeah. And that's the end of her speech. And then they'll have to translate. Heavy metal guys, we couldn't find any information on cover price, but we went to eBay and found that one sold on March 20th for $10 plus $6.55 in shipping. Yeah, good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jen, you were talking again about this earlier today about how your first exposure to Ryan Brown was via his TMNT books.
Yeah, the Macro series in particular. I sent Britt all 4, but I knew that 4 wouldn't fit. And I really like the Donatello. I mean, the Leonardo one, but the Donatello one is issue number 1. Raphael is issue number 4. I recommend if you can just Google the other ones, it's worth looking into. But yeah, this was I just thought at the time, the detail in the hand wraps, in the texture of like the shells, but my 2 favorite were Leonardo and Raphael. But I like Donatello too.
I was going to say, where's Donatello? That's my favorite.
And Michelangelo. But these are from 2018. I believe 2, 3, and 4 are 1-for-10 ratios. But it's fuzzy. I think it's fuzzy.
I could see you picking these. Donatello, Raphael, these are definitely Jen style books. And I agree with you. I'm not looking so much at the hand wrap. I'm looking at the texture of his little feet at the bottom. Like the way that, I don't know if you call it skin. It's skin, right?
Oh, real quick. Sorry, ADHD side tangent. And he says it's really important for all artists to date their work. So you can see you grow. And even if you don't like something, just to keep it from your own portfolio. So then you yourself can see how you've grown and evolved. So if you look, most of his signatures will have the date underneath. That's
interesting and rather rare. You don't see a lot of artists doing that.
I know.
I can't think of anybody.
I know Scotty Young does.
He does? He puts his date? I'll have to look at it next time. I've never noticed, but now I'm going to look and see if they... What do you think about these, Sarah?
Yeah, I like his little... that's what drawn me to that cover too, was the bottom of his foot, like, and the little wrinkles. It's definitely what I've noticed with Ryan's art. It's definitely in the details, you know, the muscular, you know, with his shoulder up, the action, you know, the twisting of the arms are just perfect, and with Raphael, like, you know, the way that he's jumping and it just, you can see the effort and the detail in this art. It's very cool.
Oh, there you go. Jonathan Brooks dates his artwork as well. So there might be something more to that.
Hey, Jojo. Jen?
Oh, Flicks and Comics. Sorry, that was early. Hi, Jojo. We miss you. Come back to us. All right, moving on. This was actually my pick. I have weird reasoning behind this. So when I first saw the deceased, the first cover on the far left, I thought, okay, this is like one of the most beautiful renditions of Wonder Woman I've ever seen. The face is stunning. And then I saw the next one and I was like, oh shit, I like this too. I'm like, this is really good. And then again, back to the third print, the black and white. It's not really black and white, but you get the idea. All 3 covers, these were done through Comics Elite back when we were working with them. And having these in hand, I don't have them anymore, but when I did have them in hand, they're some of the most beautiful covers I've ever seen. I think that something about the light of the lasso plus the darkness of like her face in cover B and C works so well. If I had to pick a favorite though, honestly, it's cover A. I
Really?
think that I that's my favorite one out of all of them. I know it's the least expensive, but that's the one I like the best. Her eyes are so beautiful. And I know that Ryan's fantastic when it comes to adding this creepy, haunting aspect to his characters, but he's also really damn good at creating beautiful women. She's stunning. Yeah, so that's why I chose this. And a little bit because Lucy's not here tonight and I miss her and Wonder Woman's her favorite. So $8 for cover A, 20 for cover B, and 60 for cover C. All 3 of these are still available on the regular on eBay from what I can tell. What do you think of them, Jen?
I kind of like the 2 on the right just because if you kind of zoom in, you can kind of see where she got bit above the right pectoral.
Breast. Jen. The right no, it's her left breast actually.
Oh yeah, because it's flipped.
Yeah, it's definitely better in person. I don't think the pictures do it justice at all.
I like the eyes. And you know what's interesting too is Laura, like the transition from like cover A to cover B to cover C. Like you're absolutely right with cover A. It's like she's just a very softer Wonder Woman. I love, we all love a good hair moment, and he definitely has captured that. My favorite when I saw this was actually the one in the middle. And it's the eyes that got me. The eyes with like the cracks or like the blood. I don't know what. I was just like, that is stunning for a horror comic, a horror cover. It's just plain old stunning. So that's my pick would be the middle one.
That's my second favorite. My least is the one on the far,
I don't like that.
your guys' far right, because I just think that it loses it when you lose the color. You lose so much of the impact of what he was trying to do here. But yeah, cover A's.
Yeah, he kept the red.
A little bit, but you lose it in her outfit, you lose it in her
Oh.
fingernails, you lose it a little bit in her eyes.
It washes out too much.
This is deceased number 5.
Right, deceased number 5 from 2019 to be specific. Again, this was a Comics Elite cover that we just happened to be working with them at that time frame, and so we ended up selling some of these. But I think they're beautiful. And Raza recently, I think the FOC this week, there was a Raza cover of Wonder Woman. Have you guys seen it? Don't get me wrong. I love Raza. I think that his use of light is unparalleled. But this is how I prefer my Wonder Woman. I don't want her too masculine because I think that having like a strong feminine build is part of her strength. And when you make her too masculine, you kind of lose that for her. If you guys have read any of the comic books, like it's kind of part of who she is. If you look at her mother, if you look at her environment of where the warriors, what are they called, Jen?
The Amazons?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not trying to put you on the spot. Ah! Lucy! Lucy! Amazonians.
Well, I mean, Themyscirians and Amazon, like,
You're close enough. Ellie was obsessed. Lucy, I chose this for you, kiddo. Hope you're doing okay. Yeah, the Raza cover would be fantastic if you hadn't get her. You guys are gonna all Google this. Google what, Jen?
Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't like it, don't buy it. But this is how I prefer mine. I prefer kind of strong, but still feminine.
Anyway. And actually, next up is Lucy's pick.
You want to cover this, Jen?
I didn't get a chance to read what she said about it, but this is Joker Joker's 80th anniversary, the Ryan Brown trade, and Virgin. Did you get a chance to read what Lucy said about it?
She likes the creepiness of it. It reminds me of when you guys remember those old photos they used to take back in the day of dead people after they had died? They would set them all up and they would all like be together, like a family would be together and they would take a photo to kind of mark their death. You guys don't remember that? Yeah. Yeah. So like you would take I know that sounds really odd, but it was part of I guess part of the grieving process is you would prop everybody up and then take a photo. And I don't know what you do with a photo, hang it over your mantle or something, but that's what this reminds me of.
Did she like the Virgin or trade dress better?
I don't know. Lucy, you're in the chat. Do you like the Virgin or trade dress better? I mean, oh, look, it's the funeral home. So see? It's the same concept of propping up the dead and you would take photographs of them. A lot of cultures do that. You can even like put little flowers in their hair.
No.
But what do you think, Sarah?
This is awesome. I love this. It's a great pick, Lucy. I like it's all in the detail. You know, the shadow too, like the shadow of like, you know, Batman's cowl and Batgirl's cowl, and it is the creepiest cover, and I think it's perfect for the 80th anniversary. So, and Lucy said she likes the trade, which I agree. I think I like the trade too.
The others is that Nicole Kidman movie. Have you guys ever watched it?
Yes.
I don't want to say too much because it's like a huge spoiler if I get too far into it. But the others make sense for this. Nicole Kidman, that's all you need to know. She's fantastic. Watch that, and then you'll kind of have an idea of why Lucy chose this. Yes, Lucy, exactly, with Nicole Kidman. It is a really good movie. I've seen it twice, and each time I catch something different.
But you don't like scary movies.
It's not
really scary.
It's not scary until it is.
It's thrilling. It's more of a thriller.
Thrilling.
Right?
Yeah. I'll explain more to you after, but I don't want to spoil it for anybody that wants to watch it. It's not scary like in the gore and blood, and it's almost like a mystery until the very end. Then you're like, oh shit, that was scary. You know what I mean? $36 for the one on the left, $90 for the one on the right. And let's keep going.
So this is Brit's pick.
Brit who?
Brit, my partner who does our graphics.
Brit, our graphic designer that never gets to have a pick in our shows because she's behind the scenes genius. She is our Wizard of Oz, so to speak. Why did she pick this?
So if you look next to Felicia on the left-hand side, that cat is Ryan Brown's cat that he got to draw in there. But he kind of had to mute out the color because he said that was one of the notes that he got back. But it's still his cat. And so we included 2 pictures of his cat from his Instagram page.
What's your cat's name? Where's your cat?
Kiki. She's lying over here.
Kiki.
But this is from 2020. And maybe she might come back over. I don't know.
Well, we can't move on until you show everybody Kiki.
Right?
I feel like that's part of the show now.
Or Millie.
Kiki has the prettiest eyes.
Oh, Kiki.
She's like, I hate this. I'm not a camera cat. Put me away.
Millie's cute too.
Which one's your favorite, Sarah? You met them both.
Oh, that's so hard. Like, this is the same thing with my cats. Like, I could never.
That's Millie?
That's Millie.
Yeah. Look at her. She's so cute.
She's like, what?
Oh. I hate... 8 lives left.
Did you injure your cat?
Well, she went to go jump where Kiki was, but Kiki did not like them. That didn't happen.
Okay. Well, there you go. I think Kiki's adorable, though. I think that she's like, her eyes look like jade. What do you think on this one, Sarah?
I like it. It's well done, Britt. I think that's a fantastic pick. I like the detail of the cat in the background. That's so cute. And she's like, again, details. Yeah, I like it. I love it. And I want to look like her.
Shout out to Mojo Pin, $22. Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Thank
Cats
you.
are better than dogs, is what he's saying. Ooh.
Oh no.
Fighting words. Fighting words. Thank you, Mojo. We appreciate that. Everything that you guys give to the channel goes back into the channel and us trying to make this even better for you. So thank you.
And there is a version of this, but it couldn't include the cat pictures and that. But Britt likes the tray dress better.
Yeah, I do too. I could see that.
A tray dress fits if there's just like too much empty space on top. Then I'm like, okay, yeah, that works. And Black Cat, unfortunately, I feel like a lot of times she looks kind of cheesy. Like her costume doesn't look right to me. It comes off as like pleather. This is well done. This is beautiful. I think that Ryan Brown, again, if you're watching, I like that she has her little swag bag that she just stole from who knows where. I like that you included Kiki. How thoughtful of you. It's very nice of you to do that for us.
I don't know his cat's name. I just, dang it.
We'll
I should look that up.
We'll have to
We'll find
ask.
out. Yeah, when he comes on the show.
Yep.
$20 for raw, near mint, going for $11. Sounds like a steal. And Mariah is saying cat for the first time. Is it because of us? So we just should like cat.
Or should she say gato?
Oh, I don't know. Cat? Cat.
Gato?
That's easier. Okay. All right, Sarah, this is your pick, and I loved it. I remember when you said this on the chat, I was like, damn, that's a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw this and I was like, this is awesome. This is Star Wars Jabba's Palace #1. This is a one-shot. This is also a Virgin variant of 1 in 100. This came out at the end of March of this year. I just loved it because it like how massive like Jabba looks. Like it just was, I was like, this is to me like this is Jabba the Hutt. Like he's just this badass, like, you know, warlord. And I just love that he made him like humongous.
Yeah.
This again is in lieu of the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. This is a one shot with the plot is who is to overthrow Jabba. So yeah, like I just, you know, I'm actually like, I didn't realize that he did other one shot covers for this 40th anniversary celebration. So I think I'm going to have to pick all these up because I just love them. And of course, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. So, but yeah, I just love the massiveness of Jabba the Hutt. Like that just is so cool. So that's why I picked it.
Everything you said, yes.
I
have nothing to add. What?
Do you feel kind of bad for that droid?
I do, because he looks so innocent. Like, you know, I mean, this is a droid, right? So, you know, obviously there's no really like, you know, human qualities to it, but he just looks like, oh my gosh.
But how many droids in Star Wars, I feel like, have very, what we consider humanistic qualities?
True.
Chopper's
I
so
love
like,
Chopper.
Right?
I love Chopper. That Chopper's become one of my favorite droids. I always used to like R2D2 because it was like the first one I was exposed to. I'm like, oh, okay, I like him. He's kind of like a smartass in a way. And then but my point is, Chopper, I think, has more of the human aspect where he's hesitant. He's like, I don't want to go do this. I don't care if I'm a machine. I don't want to die for you. I like Chopper.
I like him and his friend though. Towards the end of Rebels.
Sarah, have you watched Rebels?
I have, yes. Yes.
Do you
It's
like
one of my
Chopper?
favorite cartoons. I love it.
Yeah, it's a good one. I was telling the boys that one in I like Visions. Visions I think was really well done from like the aesthetic standpoint.
Mhm.
Anywho, all right, yeah, $5 on the left and roughly 174 on the right. I agree with Sarah. I think the proportions here is fantastic. I think that it's interesting when you take a character and you're able to exaggerate the power of their character through scale. And that's exactly what they did here. And it's very well done. Not to mention having the blurred background versus the more in-focus droid, making him feel even smaller. It's beautiful. Next up, All right. This is the one that most of you guys, Jonathan Brooks, you're going to want to stick around for this one. It's been all over social media. It's been everywhere. Star Wars Ewoks, and I don't feel like a lot of retailers picked up this title, making the 1 in 100 not as plentiful as some of the others. When you think Ewoks, I saw like Trish Forstner's like cute little, beautiful little Ewoks. This is how I picture Ewoks. Kind of like, rah,
I mean,
rah.
fair, they were gonna eat the heroes of the story.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
if C-3PO didn't save,
Oh, yeah.
they were gonna eat him.
You're right.
They were gonna eat him. There's another screen somewhere else with people who came there before who were eaten.
Jen, what's that bear that talks from the 80s?
Teddy Ruxpin?
That's where my fear of Ewoks started. That is like, that's, they probably have like a little cassette tape thing in their stomachs. Anyway.
This is scary. This is a scary cover. This is, usually like you think of Ewoks as like, these cute little cuddly bears. This is one vengeful freaking bear. This is like, he's like, you killed my like family. I now will come after you. He's got fire in his eyes. Scary. Creepy. This is horror.
I think depending on the music, this could be both a celebration or something very terrifying. Now, it would have been really interesting if, like, really small in the eyes, you saw someone being like, remember how they had it? Yeah.
Well, nonetheless, this book is really well done. No matter how you feel about Ewoks, this is really, really well done. And it's captured the attention of everybody in the community. We're talking $4 for the one on the left, and the 1 in 100 is going for $136 raw. So it's holding its ratio plus some, a near mint for $128. I think that's a steal.
Yeah. Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, please.
Yes. Oh, so if you guys don't know that he has actually done, Ryan Brown has done other covers for these one shots for the 40th anniversary. We're talking about Star Wars Empire #1, and then also that I think it is coming out in June.
Oh, that's the last one.
Is it? Oh, well, I will
shut
up. I will shut up.
Question from BB66. Where did they get Leia's dress for her to wear? I don't know.
The one that they ate prior.
I saw in Forces of Destiny, they gifted her the dress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they ate
But
someone.
where did they get it?
They ate somebody and they got it from them.
Okay. Oh, he said yes. There you go.
So that's the truth. Is that canon?
Mystery solved. Perfect. Perfect segue, Sarah. Love it. Jen, what do we have here?
Well, you can keep going now that we have this picture.
So, well, the other thing is, Star Wars Empire #1. This is a one shot, and then also in May, there's going to be a Lando #1 one shot. So, I thought that was really cool. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to pick all these up.
So, a rule that you might see if you watch a lot of our shows: 3 images can fit on the screen, depending on sizes. Like Sarah said, this comes out June 7th. I believe,
so there's going to be a 1 in 100 of the Empire one.
I think it's a virgin.
Yeah.
A virgin. Yeah. Really? I want it.
I know. I wanted to buy
It's
the virgin as an exclusive, and they told me it was going to be the 1 in 100.
Damn.
But there's no image for it on Diamond.
There's no image on Diamond yet, but he said it will be there. I'm sorry. Continue, Jen.
And I thought a cool remark would be to have somebody do the Ahsoka clone troopers with the orange. All they do is add the orange. Remember at the end? Oh, you didn't even watch season 7. They paint.
Rebel.
Who's the Mandalorian Rebels?
Mandalorian Rebels.
I can't do her name.
What's her name?
The Mandalorian Rebels.
Sabine.
Sabine.
They did
Sabine.
like a graffiti version where she did like art.
Anne thinks Sabine should be. Yeah, we're saying like,
Oh, that'd be cool too. having
Adam
them
has a
all
crush
down
on
how
somebody.
sweet
And he
them.
was like super bummed when she I don't want to spoil anything when she ends up with somebody. Not spoiling. It's not spoiling. Is that spoiling?
No, I mean, listen, everyone that's watching should watch Rebels. I think before we're like, oh, Clone Wars, Clone Wars. Yes, Clone Wars is, you need to watch it still, but Rebels, because we're for sure going to do a Rebels show. So if you don't want anything, if you don't want anything spoiled, it's only 4 seasons. If you start binging it now.
Did you ever have you ever heard of a comedian, John Mulaney?
Yes.
He does a thing about like spoilers, and he's like, you guys are adults. So it shouldn't matter if you spoil something.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know. I get pretty angry when I see something pop up and I'm like, mother, like I was gonna watch it tomorrow and now I've lost it and now it's, I don't know. But I guess that's on me for being on social media. If you're on social media, it's like what's in the middle?
It's Night Terror's Joker #1. It's actually from DC's coming out with their new oh my god, I'm blanking. What's it called when you have like a thing coming out that is multi-titled?
An event?
Yes, it's their event.
Oh, what's their event that they're doing? It's we covered this on the
Night Terrors. It's Night Terrors.
Yes, Night Terrors events, and they're gonna have like all the different characters that get sucked into like their nightmares essentially.
What was the
and
name
they have
of
to
one? Insomnia?
They have to fight their nightmares, otherwise they don't survive like in the real world.
I actually kind of want to do a show about the Night Terrors
because we talked about it on the Comic-Con podcast. It seems pretty interesting. Like a nice.
If you go to Lunar, if you go to Lunar and you type in Night Terrors, they already have a ton of covers available that you can kind of pre-see, and then synopsises of some of the different things, like
the Wonder Woman one is pretty neat.
It's Britt and I like the Zatanna one.
Yes. Okay. Did you not watch me when I was on Comic-Con podcast, Jen? I feel like you didn't because we talked about all this.
Oh. Wait, it's called Comic-Con podcast?
Yeah, it has Nemesis Prime and we were on that when this news first dropped, and so we got to see all the different covers. But thank you for supporting me, Jen. Thank you.
I'll watch it. I'll be what's it called? I'll watch it on the rewind.
Hey Sarah, I watched you. Weren't you on somebody's show last week on Near Nirvana?
I watched that.
I was on Mondo Mail Call.
I was in the live chat.
She was. She was like, what?
I'm just busting your balls. It's all good. Yeah, the Night Terrors, this is a perfect rendition of what we're getting at here. And I think it's so creepy and it's so cool. What do you think, Sarah?
It's absolutely creepy. Like, and to see, like, with Lucy's pick that we saw kind of like the terrifying, Joker with all these bodies around him, to see him now terrified with like in a is it a coffin with like, hands and.
It looks like a coffin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick pause here. Read my comment for $1.99. Deal sold. Dave Filoni says on Video Season 4 Rebels to watch before Ahsoka TV show for people that don't want to watch all the seasons. What, Jen?
But you kind of need the first 3 seasons to kind of understand character development.
But I'll disagree with you a little bit. You could probably get by just on season 4. Yeah, I agree. What? The Ezra development's insane. But if you had to only watch one before going into Ahsoka, you'd probably be okay.
I guess. But you have time for all 4.
Yeah.
When is it coming out again? August or June?
August.
My
birthday month.
That's right.
Our birthday month.
Too. And Laura's. Yeah.
We gotta do another birthday party for you, Jen. That was fun.
No, you need to do one this year.
Yes.
Actually, Anthony and I are going to Greece from the 18th of August. Oh, yeah. So I'll be gone for like 2 weeks.
We can do it before your 18th. That's after your birthday.
When's my birthday, Jen?
The 14th.
You love me. Yeah, you're like sweating and you're like, oh shit. That is correct. All right.
And the Revenants. I actually forgot to do. Remember the pictures I sent you of that one?
Yes.
So maybe we'll have
That's
to do a Ryan Brown part 2.
Yeah, because that was interesting. You can kind of just, why don't you explain what we're talking about here? And as to how this cover came to be versus what it originally was?
Okay. The Revenant's actually seems funny because it's how they escape New York Comic Con, so that seems like it'd be like a nice little read. There's a Kickstarter for oh my god. There's a Kickstarter that Ryan Brown did for issue number 2 cover, and it looked awesome. But from my understanding is that it just didn't raise enough money, the people who wrote it, so never actually got printed. But the image is freaking amazing. You can see what they wanted with the title, and then you can see his actual work. It's right up, like Lucy would freaking love it. But the face, he kept it and then now has used it for the Revenants.
But there was so much more originally to this piece that you guys aren't seeing. Maybe we should maybe we should post it. Want to post it on our Instagram, like the behind the scenes version?
Yeah, we could do that.
We could do that, so that way they kind of see. If you guys are following us on Instagram, we'll post the full unreleased image that led to this image on our Instagram.
Oh, it's called Edge of Extinction.
Yeah. Lucy, you're still here. Make that happen. She's here. She can do it. She handles our Instagram, guys. So if you're ever on Instagram, you're talking to Lucy. Yeah, this is very gory. And again, the eyes are just iconic and they're very distinctively Ryan Brown. What do you think, Sarah?
Yeah, absolutely. I know he's big into zombies too. I know that him and his 2 other brothers actually formed up a comic company called Berserker Comics. And I think one of them was called like The Dead, and it had kind of like zombies involved. So this is just freaking like, this is like made of nightmares, this cover. Like this is totally Night of the Living Dead, all the Dead movies all into one. So
real quick, I don't think we ever played this game before, but for the Ryan Brown 150, over under that on, because July 4th means FOC for this book hasn't happened yet. Do you think when it comes out July 4th, it'll be over 50 or under 50?
Oh, that's tricky. Okay, let's think about it. How many retailers did A Night Terrors Joker #1 that I've seen? Not a lot, which means that the 150s wouldn't be that plentiful. However, DC is really counting on Night Terrors to kind of revigorate the entire DC storyline. Yeah. I'm going to go under. Sorry.
Ooh.
I'm going under only because I don't know if this will get enough attention. I'm going to go under. I'm going to say when it first comes out, you could probably get it for $30 to $40.
Wow. Okay. Sarah?
I don't know. Is Ryan doing a lot of these covers or just?
From what I saw, this is one of the only ones I saw. They had a couple of other artists who have one for each one of the titles, but I only saw just this Joker. They might ask him for other ones because there's still time, and there's a lot of ratios that didn't have a picture yet.
I think I'm gonna go with Laura. I think I'm gonna play it safe and go under because DC has not really been. I feel like I haven't really seen a whole lot about like how big DC is. So maybe
what was that show where they go like $51?
Price is right.
Price is right. $1. I say it's $1.
I think that his Ewok cover, because Cosmic One, his incentives have been good, but that was a Star Wars book. And I think Star Wars, so like the Star Wars Empire, the 1 in 100 for this one, I think will go over.
Okay.
I'm just not sure how I feel. I think Night Terrors is good. Takes caveat to my previous statement. If Night Terrors in general is received and it does really well, then I could see the 1 in 50 going over after the fact.
Right.
But initially, I think you'll be able to buy it for $30 or $40. In fact, I'll prove it to you guys. As soon as this book comes out, I will go and find a 1 in 150 for under $50, and I will tell you guys I found it. Huh? Bless you. So on July 5th, actually, people are probably pre-selling these already, right? Maybe. That was really cute, Jen.
That's what my body says to that.
Well said.
Yeah, I think Star Wars titles and Star Wars incentives just generally do better, but
Yeah.
who knows? Okay, that was it for us. Nope. Hold on. Before we go, I forgot about this slide. If you are interested in following Ryan Brown, follow ryanbrown-art.com. That's his site, Ryan Brown Art is his Instagram. As soon as you see the Joker, you know it's him. So if you're like, I don't know who to follow, this is the guy. He posts some really cool stuff on his Instagram. It's very insightful. Jen's made it very well known that if you want to see kind of deeper into somebody, go onto their social media. Like there's so many tidbits that you don't know otherwise, right?
Hey, Laura, could I send you real quick the Edge of Extinction thing? Do I send it to your email? Is it easy for you to open up on the screen or no?
I'm in Anthony's office, so
So if I send it to the messenger, no. If I send it to
send it to me, and then I will post it on our Instagram as soon as the show ends.
Okay.
Yeah, just post it. Send it to my email, and then I'll post it. So if you guys want to see the Revenant's cover, but in its full glory, make sure you're following us on Instagram. And please follow Ryan Brown as well. Ryan, if you are out there and if you ever want to be on Nearing Nirvana, we would absolutely be honored to have you. We think that you are phenomenal and your artwork is something else.
But he's in Ireland, so that would be like 2 or 3 in the morning.
That's all right. We'll tag him tonight. We'll just keep tagging him over and over and over and over and over again. We'll get him. Monday, we have Cover Lovers at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Tuesday, that's us, Comic Book Women. Wednesday, the Mondo Mail Call at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard. Thursday is Long Story Short, so make sure you guys are tuning in on Thursday for that, right after the Shakers on Lords of the Long Box. And Friday is our Nearing Nirvana show. We have a guest, Sarah Jen. Do you remember who it is on Friday? I don't remember. We have a guest on Friday. So tune in for that. And then Saturday, last but not least, we have a Saturday morning toy box for all you toy lovers. In the meantime, follow Cover Price. Use code Nirvana14 for 30 days unlimited membership for only 99 cents. And Bird City Comics. I told the girls prior to the show going live, we have a new Trish Forstner cover coming out tomorrow that, well, it's probably my most favorite that she's ever done, except for the Stray Dogs It cover. That's my ultimate. But
can you give us a tiny morsel of a hint?
It's Dark Ride.
Yeah.
Besides that.
I want to. I was scrolling through when I was trying to figure out what to do for this title, and I found a book that was from a long time ago, and I was like, holy shit, this would be perfect for Dark Ride. So I called Trish up, and I was like, Trish! And she's like, Laura, calm down. Which is like always, Laura, calm down. I'm like, I got something for you. And I sent it to her, and she's like, this is badass. I love it. And she was so excited to do it that she almost did the entire concept in a day. She almost had the complete cover done in 2 days. And she's like, I'm just so pumped. When you work with artists, when they're into whatever it is that they're doing, you can tell because they work so fast. It's almost like they go into like this mode. And it's really good. You guys are going to love it.
I can't wait.
Yellow. There's your clue. Yellow.
Banana.
Yeah. Maybe we're doing a banana cover tomorrow. I shall have to stay tuned. Trish Forstner, Banana exclusive by Bird City Comics.
If you like bananas, Bird City.
Before we go, Sarah, anything you want to add or plug or talk about?
Follow all of us on Nearing Nirvana. Follow us on Comic Book Women. Yeah. Ryan, if you're listening, come on our show. We'd love to interview. We'd love to know what you're thinking, what your thoughts, what all the good stuff is. And yeah, follow us again follow us on Friday with our special guest, and then follow us again on Tuesday.
Our special mystery guest.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Jen? Jen has nothing, so we will see you guys on Friday. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you.